Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Latona's open house presentation of kickassapp.com. My name is Rick Latona, and I'm joined by Eric Ruthoff Anderson. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Eric, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, just real quick before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping. I showed this page in the beginning so anybody who is here but is having problem with audio can have a chance to read this real quick. All right, we'll go ahead and move on. So normally I start out by asking the seller to tell us about the business and why you started it. But before you do that, I think for your particular website, we should actually show people. So I'm gonna move over to the screen and show everybody what kickassapp.com really is. So you just drag it over to your bookmark bar, and I confess that I spent about an hour doing this yesterday. Then you click on it, and a little asteroids-like thing will appear, and you can start flying around and destroying the web page. Now I'm not sure with the delays on GoToWebinar if there's how well that got across, but that's basically what it is. But I think you do a lot more than just that. But I wanted to kind of show that to everybody real quick. So, so now at this point, I'm going to ask you. So tell us, why'd you start it? What's the history behind it?
So it started in 2010 when I was home one night experimenting with some code, and I had this idea of destroying websites just to see if it was possible with like this game element of asteroids. And so this one night around 12, I started coding on something, and then like 4 a.m. I was finished with it, and it was kind of a tech demo just to show my then girlfriend to kind of impress her. And it was kind of fun, and I showed my friends and they really liked it. And then one day I posted it to Reddit in October 2010, and it kind of got a good response from the users there. And just I kept on with my life, and a week later I saw that the traffic had just exploded, and people started emailing me about it and saying it was awesome. And so I did some Googling and found out that it had been featured on Gizmodo, and then it just spread. It was in Wired and many other web and print publications, and it really exploded. And I was really dumbfounded at how huge it got, and got many emails, and many advertisers were interested in using it for their ads and campaigns. And then, so in early 2011, I started making an iOS app, and in 2011 I started working on this version, which is on kickassapp.com. The previous one was on just a subdomain called urkygithub.com. And so we released the new version in April 2012, which is what you're seeing right now. We added some fun graphics and added elements like achievements and signing up, social sharing, and you could design your own ships. And so to date it's been played, this version, and we didn't have any play stats on the previous one, but this one's been played over 2 million times, and our users have made like over 8,000 ships, which we'll talk about later, I guess. So it's a fun project to have worked on, and we've gotten some great response. So yeah.
Okay, thanks for all that. So just to show everybody real quick, this is the deal snapshot. So it's a $30,000 a year business. Again, there's revenue. Basically, your expenses are just hosting and anything else.
Yeah, hosting, domain, and some CDN services and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So the next few slides are going to be some screenshots that you sent us that I just put in this presentation. So a lot of some from most of them, I'm just going to kind of ask you to explain to everybody what it is that we're actually looking at. Or this one seems pretty obvious. It's the iOS sales, right? So tell us about your experience selling the app.
Uh,
Well, I guess I can ask you more targeted questions than that. The the app um is it what do you charge for it for one thing?
it's $1.
$1. And am I understanding this graph correctly that it on average does about 10 a day?
Uh, yeah, I think this is weekly.
So 10 a week?
Yeah.
Okay, so a
I haven't
little
really
bit.
done any pushes for it or anything like that, so.
And that's fine. All we're just trying to seek the truth here. Um, is the app in its own developer account? Because from what I understand, there are some rules about transferring an iPhone app from one customer to another, and that it's easier just to transfer the account. Or do you have other
Uh,
apps in that same account?
no, it's just that app, so.
Okay, so that'll be
um,
easy to deal with. Um, and then here's another graph for everybody to see that's the most recent few months.
I mean, it's been in the App Store for a year, so it's pretty stable at where it's at now, but
You know, I showed everybody the experience of using it in a web browser, which was pretty obvious and intuitive. How does it work on the phone? Are you able to pull up any website and start destroying it?
yeah, the experience is basically the same except that it's in an app. I had to do some, uh, it's kind of difficult to get it to work in the performance constrained environment that the iPhone is. So for me, it's a really cool piece of technology because I had to work really hard to get it to work just as smooth on the app.
So is there an actual browser in your app that so that
Yeah.
they pull up the website in your app, or do they pull up their website in Safari and then use your app on top of it?
It's a browser within the app.
Okay, that's what I figured.
But
Okay, cool. So here's a screenshot you provided. It looks like probably the login page from your admin. Obviously, what's noticeable here is the 20,437 users. How do you define a user?
a user is someone who has registered on our site. It can be with Facebook or Twitter or email password combination.
Okay, so I just played with it and destroyed the Latonas.com site, but I wasn't an actual user because I never registered. So you have all those people's email addresses or at least your link to them on Facebook.
Yeah. Or Twitter.
What's the new ships to approve? Can people design their own ships?
Yeah, that's a feature we added in the new version where you design your own ships, so it's not just the asteroids triangle. And what we do is we just go through every new ship and find the coolest ones and put them in our gallery so people can play them.
Okay, so people can use the ship however they want on their own. So the only ones that you're approving are the ones that are go into for public consumption.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And what is this that we're
And
looking at?
this is a screenshot from our database, which is just it's the number of ships our users have designed, which is 8,991. And it's the total number, not the number of accepted ones. The number of accepted ones is 200 or 300. Not all ships are awesome, but it might be awesome to the person who made them, but we only highlight the ones that we really think are awesome.
Sure. And this?
And this is also from our database. I'm not really sure if we could have presented it in a more fun way, but it's every time someone plays, it registers in our database. So this number is how many plays total we've had since we launched in April 2011 or 2012.
How about this?
This is our ship gallery.
Oh, these are ships designed by you or by other users?
Other users. The only ship that we designed is the triangle one there in the second row to the left.
Oh, okay.
And the Firehawk there next to it has been played like 120,000 times, so it's really popular.
Oh, okay, yeah. They definitely someone put some work into those.
Yeah, we're really impressed by what our users have made. And we couldn't have done this ourselves. They just.
Do they? If I click on create a new ship, do I have to? Does it have to be in any certain kind of format, or any GIF or JPEG work?
No, it's our designer is. It's like you put the dots in.
So it's actually.
Anything.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, neat. All right. So this is kind of hard for everybody to see because of the vertical nature of the image. I wasn't able to get it on the slide properly. So what are we looking at here?
This is just a screenshot from our admin again. We're just demoing what the platform has. This is the achievement editor, which we can add new achievements to the game, like destroy facebook.com for 2,000 experience points and destroy YouTube in less than 60 seconds. So you can design some pretty complicated or...
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Yeah, so I had seen those URLs on there when I was looking at like the Facebook one and stuff like that. Do you know what URLs people are using it on?
Yeah, we
because you have to for those achievements to work, right?
Yeah. We have tracking for on Google Analytics, but also in we can see each game everyone plays, where they play it, and some extra stats on that too.
So I guess actually before we move on, I've got questions queuing up from our audience here. I try to ask them when it's appropriate. Some of these I'm going to wait until the end, but one of the questions I have is there any way to track how many people bookmark the page? Because like I showed everybody in the example, there's to make the whole thing work, you have to actually add this thing to your bookmark bar. Is there a way for you to track how many people have that added?
No. The bookmarks bar is pretty limited in what you can do.
Okay.
But we have our users have made Chrome extensions and Firefox extensions and Opera extensions for the browser, which we can track. We don't own them since our users made them, but they have stats for that, at least.
Interesting. You got. All right, so this looks like we're looking at an article written about you in New York Times.
It's not about us, but it's a huge spread about gaming and how it's evolved. And for that, they contacted us and asked if they could add the game to that page, which is the front page of that article. and you don't see it in the screenshot, but it's actually interactive. So the image is moving, and you can fly that ship around and destroy the article as you're reading it.
Oh, oh, that was great.
Shoot the advertising or whatever.
Neat.
And
And we're gonna try to dig into this whole white labeling thing that you're doing, because so the next few slides are on that, and I think the audience will get a more clear picture in the two after this one. But this browser blaster is is this an example of a white label solution?
yeah,
Or
Cloudflare has it's like a hosting service, and they have this in-app store where you can just click add this to my site, and it's added as an Easter egg. So if the user types a special combination, this game comes up, and you can destroy their website, which is appreciated. Users like it.
right. And here's an M&M one. And this is a good time to ask one of the questions that that I have here. So, how did you get your contracts with Paramount and M&M's? Did they find you, or did you contact them? Or is there some sort of broker of gaming licenses to Hollywood websites? How does the whole thing work?
They contacted us. There was this agency who had this idea for the Paramount thing, and this was this M&M's one is a Danish agency where they everyone has contacted us. We're not really the selling types, so we just receive lots of emails, and sometimes they ask if we want to work with them, and yeah, we do.
Okay.
And this is a M&M's campaign, which I got to go to Denmark to meet the other team that worked on this, and it was nominated for 2 Danish Internet Awards, which it won, which was fun. And then it was also nominated for a Cannes Lion, which is one of the most prestigious marketing awards, which I didn't really get at the time because I was kind of new, but the marketing agency they went to France just to see their nomination, which was kind of cool.
Gotcha. So I think to most people, Thor is more exciting than M&M's. How'd this one happen?
This was a British agency who contacted us, and yeah, they had an idea, and I got to use the code for the kick-ass app, and just modified it for instead of an asteroid ship, you hold Thor's hammer and throw it around and smash the website.
So this one, it's the hammer is not shooting anything. You're actually throwing the hammer itself.
Yeah, it's kind of gesture-based. So you spin the hammer around, and then it flies away, and you get to use it as a spiral it in another direction, and then it opens a wormhole to another page, and you can just click it and you smash beneath it.
And what do you charge them for that service to be able to do all that for them?
For this, it was just a day rate for the initial customization of it.
So you just charged, basically the same thing you would charge for any programming contract.
Yeah.
Got it.
For this one at least.
And what languages are used in the development of all this?
This is just JavaScript and HTML, CSS. It runs in a browser, so it's just client-side stuff. No, it's not Flash or Java or anything like that.
Right. Okay. So, um, actually, before we move on, let me ask a couple more of these questions that I have sitting here. One of the questions is, do you do anything to promote further user involvement outside of letting the users make ships? And I think you told me about the how they can how you have different achievement awards. Is there anything else? It's just one of the questions I have here.
For for the game, uh, well, there's the achievements and designing ships, which is one achievement, and getting accepted. And then there's high scores, which is a bit prestigious for our users. And I think that's it.
Okay.
That's what I can. Oh yeah, and we have this site of the day, we call it. We try to come up with one fun site every day to destroy.
There you go. The do you have any kind of trademarks or any kind of protective rights for this?
No.
All right, just moving along. So this is just a quick screenshot of analytics. Most people know what they're looking at here. You had that one little spike, but for the most part, the intention of this was to show the stability of the traffic. The number looks low only because the left axis of the graph goes up to 40,000 because of that spike. So it's a little bit deceiving. But overall, what our buyers are looking for are stable sites. So it appears to qualify for that. Just wanted to show everybody that. And the average duration is 3 minutes and 42 seconds. The domain name Kickass App is actually a pretty good domain, by the way. And I mean, it looks like you're picking up traffic for. I'm not sure that someone typing in Kickass is actually looking for your app, but they might get there and be happy that they're there once they're there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some people complaining about the ass in the name, but
yeah, they just need to get over it. I like the name.
Yeah.
Pretty broad appeal here, different countries. Obviously, the U.S. is the biggest. And this is just showing. These screenshots are for SEMrush.com. Most people will recognize where this stuff comes from. And this is from SEO Moz. Shows how many referring domains you have that they can easily track anyway. External backlinks. So tell us about day-to-day operations running this thing. What's a day in the life like?
Not much. Like I said, we have the site of the day, and we have the administrative part of accepting and denying ships. Other than that, we don't really do much right now. We have the Facebook page which has 40,000 likes, which when we have a good ship, we highlight it there. And I mean, the servers run pretty stably. There's not much in terms of that. So I'd estimate that maybe at most half an hour per day, not even that, maybe if you really focus your energy, it could be like an hour a week.
So, and you think anybody with JavaScript and maybe some HTML5 knowledge could easily run this and grow it?
Yeah. The game is a bit complex if you'd like to change that, but I mean, the site is easily changed and promotional stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And if a new owner asked you, hey, what have you always planned on doing but you never got to? I mean, you've spent years thinking about this thing, and maybe you have some kind of lofty vision that it could become one day. What is that? What would you recommend to the next owner?
Um, so there's always improving the game. There's lots of game elements we're missing right now to make it even more fun to play, like maybe enemies or hunting gold coins across the internet, and there's a lot of potential there. But then there's also other parts of it which aren't that obvious, like in the, if you'll remember the analytics page, there was this huge spike in traffic, and that's a result of people adding this to their site as an Easter egg. So if you go to a special page on a page, the app or the game opens up and you get to destroy the web page, it really gets people talking if they find it. And that was a result of some museum homepage having it as an Easter egg, and maybe some radio or TV or something where they said, hey, if you're going to this homepage and write this key combination, then you get to destroy this page. And that really drives traffic. And so we'd really like to focus this and make it easy for website owners to add this to their site, and we get traffic, they get traffic, everyone wins.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we'd really like to do, or had planned.
Okay. So why are you selling it?
We have a lot of projects ongoing, so it's hard to just find the time to work on it. And we feel it has a lot of potential, and someone could really nurture it to a whole new level. But for us, we're happy where it is today. I mean, when I sat there late at night in 2010, I couldn't imagine that would have come this far and gotten this attention that it did. And it really helped our company, grow when we really weren't anybody. So we just want to focus on new stuff. And so it would be nice to just hand it over to someone who sees the huge potential in it and just grow it from where it is today.
Sure. Okay. And so we've got a few more questions to ask, and then we'll be done. Let's focus for a minute on on this private labeling issue, because it's such a huge portion of the revenue. And I saw you had one really big payment come in like a month or two ago, right? What was that for?
That was for a campaign which isn't released yet, so I'm not sure if I can say for who yet.
Okay.
It's basically just they wanted the platform and the app in a different form, so we have customized it, changed the game a bit, and licensed out the core code to them.
And when you say licensed out the code, is that on a recurring fee or a one-time payment? Or is it for a temporary amount of time?
Well,
if I came to you today, and I said I want to have my own version of this on my site, how would you propose it to me?
So do you want the little asteroids thing, or do you want a whole new game experience? And if you want a game experience, we'll just take the code and change it, and change the triangle to a square or something, and we host the code, we host the app, and you get to add the code to the trigger code to your site, basically.
So do you have some kind of recurring hosting fee at least?
Yeah, we have a maintenance fee, and it's on our servers. So.
Hmm. Okay. Um, do you have any long-term contracts with customers that to where there's some kind of guaranteed revenue in the future?
Yeah, this huge project we just got is long term, so
Okay.
it's more than 1-2 years.
Okay. So what if I was to buy this from you today? What revenue could I expect from that contract alone? And the reason I'm asking this is I'm trying to figure out if everything else went terribly wrong, and if, if there was no AdSense anymore, if everything went wrong, what would there'd still be this? What's the revenue of that one contract?
This contract is worth, the maintenance fee is $800 per month.
So it's a great contract.
Yeah.
All right. That's exactly what I needed to know. Thank you so much. Um, the next question I have from one of the users is uh, if they needed your help after the sale, would you be available to help? Either, I mean, even you'd get paid for it, but I mean, or you'll still be around and available.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've coded everything myself, so I know everything inside out, so I definitely helped out anyone out who needed it.
Okay, another person just asked me if they can use the app without becoming a user, and the answer to that is yes, because that's what I did earlier at the beginning of the whole thing. Um, do they need to become a user if they use the iPhone app?
You don't need to register anything to play the iPhone app, but you need
Okay.
to buy it. So,
Well, that's it. There's no more questions. We're done. Thank you so much for explaining everything to us. And if anybody else has any questions, they can send it to myself or to Adam Beebe, the listing broker, and we will get with Eric and we will get you the answers. Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
All right. Bye bye.